there. How are we doing today? Now, a couple things. Why didn't that reset? That's weird. Hey, what's up? I see you there. And no, I'm not late. I'm right on time. 9:15. It's 9:15. You know, that's what I put time I put on there. I know it's normally supposed to be 9 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. But you know what? It's that time of year, man. I'd said these shows can be late. They might be a half hour late. They might be an hour behind, but they're not late. They're just postponed until I get here, because I got to be here to do the show. I can't do the show if I'm not here. And that's some very important information for you to know. So anyway, today's show is kind of a mishmash of things. Some media stuff. I got some media stuff to talk about because, well, Fredo. That's really all I got to say. That's really all I got to say. Oh, Fredo. Play the intro. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. All right, stop the music. All right, good morning. Hi, welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the PDawgKnight channel. Feeling clean and smooth today. Oh, I feel so much better. Anyway, it is Hump Day, I think. Is today Wednesday? Yeah, no. Well, I don't know what the hell day it is. Is it second or third? It's Wednesday. I got to tell you, I'm discombobulated, but I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday because Lady Boomer's off today. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Marty. I already said that. Notice PDawgKnight on the internet, and it's the 1st of December. Are your Christmas lights out? Is your tree up? Are you got your shopping done? Because especially if you got to mail something, it might take you a little extra time. Although, you know, it's funny. Our UPS stuff, I mean, it seems to be we're doing just fine. We're kind of ahead of the schedule this time, so it's all good. Hey, but you know, real quick, we already have our first sponsor today, and it's he's making a special appearance. I appreciate you so much. It is thank you, Gunfox61, and Gunfox61, you are the new Streamline Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Putting some bucks in the back pocket there, just a little special gift for you, just like Grandpa used to do. And it says, who says, "You're late, Boomer. Off to the Discord's news section for torture reading the blood shooting out of your eyes news." Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did pull a few stories from the Discord server. So we'll get to some of those today. Thank you, Unfox61, who is the administrator extraordinaire of our Discord server, the PDawgKnight Channel Discord server. You are greatly appreciated, sir. And like I said, some media stories, particularly Fredo. And we're not going to talk about the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. But if you know, who is it? Good Logic, LAWGIC. He's been covering that one. If you're interested in the trial in Minneapolis of that police officer who shot the kid at a traffic, well, it was a felony stop, and she thought she was pulling out a taser, and she pulled out her service weapon and shot the kid, and that kid died. That trial's going on. You can watch that on Rakita Law. I'm trying to remember if anyone. No, I don't think anyone's covered the Jussie Smallett trial. That one, by the way, it is Jussie Wednesday again, because that trial's going on. I used to do Jussie Wednesdays back in the day when that story was really hot, and I was on that story like that next day saying, This whole thing is bullshit. But anyway, that trial's going on. I'll update you on that today. They've suspended Chris Cuomo at CNN. There's some weird stuff. I've got a bit of COVID. It's kind of a mishmash of things today. So we'll just power through it and see how far we get. Then I'll put those links in the tab and we will fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get away. I don't know why that song came into my head. Anyway, but before we do that, let's say good morning to the troops in the chat. I raise a toast to you with my cup of reparation. First in the chat today. Well, of course it was. Wait, did I mess that up? No, it's Attack Alpaca was first. Who gets the bell? Thank you for being the first one here. And Johnny on the spot. Also, good morning, Advocatus Diabli, the Devil's Advocate, Gunfox61, the extraordinary administrator of our Discord server. Also, good morning, Molly Mags. Nice to have you back. Select the boys in the house. Yeah, also, boy. Good morning to K-Shaw. How you doing? Also, good morning, Keyword Dam. Just dropping in and maybe dropping out, but I'm glad you dropped in. King on Common Laws here. Good morning, T-Ball, Tyler F. Oh, that's me. Data Wasteland. Let's see who else is here. I said T-Ball already. Jaded Clay. Good morning. And people are just slowly popping into the house. So the Waukesha terrorist attack story has been, it really has. And also the Ghislaine Maxwell story. So there are a few people, covering it on Twitter and on YouTube. I don't see a whole ton of, other than I'm sure I didn't really watch, I didn't get to take a look at the nets, as in the networks. But I think, I don't know that they're as interested in the story, because there's a lot of powerful people being mentioned. And even though one of them is Donald Trump, because Donald Trump flew on his plane once from Florida to New York, most of the people that are being mentioned in that trial, the rich and famous, are people that normally get the kid glove treatment from our media. So I don't think you're going to hear a whole lot about that trial. Now there certainly are other things that they don't talk about, and one of them happens to be the Waukesha ordeal. And so we'll I've got let's see I've got one. I do have a couple stories on that. In fact, let's just do a quick this is a quick news update on that. And because he made a court appearance. And so here's the Daily Caller's article on that. I'll move it so you can see it a little better. Hang on. Waukesha parade suspect only says one word during a court appearance. Daryl Brooks, the suspect who allegedly plowed his car into the Waukesha Christmas parade, spoke for the first time since the alleged attack Tuesday during a virtual Milwaukee court conference. Waukesha Police Department arrested Brooks just hours after he allegedly drove his red SUV into the annual parade held in Waukesha, Wisconsin on November 21st, killing 6 people and injuring more than 60 others. The suspect joined the virtual conference along with his lawyer and the court clerk, where he said a single word for the first time publicly since the crash, according to Fox News. "Can you hear Mr. Brooks?" "Yes," the suspect replied, according to the outlet. This was the only word Brooks said during the conference, according to Fox News. The hearing was organized by his attorney, Joseph Domask, who requested to withdraw from the case because he had a high number of relationships with the incident's victims. Apparently, is he a court-appointed lawyer? Probably. Motion was granted by Judge David Feiss. Domas represented Brooks during his November 5th court appearance for allegedly running over his ex-girlfriend with his vehicle in a gas station parking lot on November 2nd. Just a swell guy. The outlet reported Brooks faced charges of reckless endangerment, battery, domestic abuse, bail jumping, and resisting arrest for the alleged attack. The Milwaukee District Attorney's Office said Brooks' release from custody on $1,000 cash bail on November 11th was inappropriately low. You think? And we are investigating the office's decision that led to his release. I'm sure you are. The 39-year-old felony charges rose 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide after the death of an 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, who succumbed to brain injuries caused by the SUV. During his first court appearance on November 21st, Judge Kevin Costello ordered for Brooks to be held in custody on a $5 million bail at the request of the Waukesha District Attorney Susan Opper. Ring doorbell footage captured Brooks nearly 20 minutes after the crash. The homeowner, Daniel Ryder, said he allowed Brooks to enter his home where he had a sandwich and was given a jacket. Ryder witnessed police catching Brooks with demands for him to put his hands in the air. So, I mean, and the rest is just a little bit about him. So anyway, yeah, there's an unusual, is it unusual? Well, here's the thing. So yesterday, as I tend to do, I was scrolling along Twitter and I saw a post by Chris Cillizza from This Is CNN. And Chris Cillizza seemed to be up in arms over the fact that Fox News was covering that guy being a court appearance, and that all the other networks were covering COVID. Oh no, they were covering the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. I'm sorry, but they covered this too. So he's mad that Fox was covering a trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, who's been naming, not necessarily her naming names, but names have been brought up. The pilot started naming some names. And Chris Lewis is mad because while they were reporting on that, all the other networks were reporting on the stupid 19, the new Omicron variant that, everyone's starting to worry about. But I mean, we're already learning a lot about the Omicron variant that, it's really, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be anything new, really. But they want to talk about that because that keeps your mind distracted from other shit like the Jussie Smollett case, like the Ghislaine Maxwell case, like this. And so, who cares? There's all kinds of things that they cover that haven't been being covered by CNN, including some things that you think would be kind of important, but I don't know. FTG to Chris Cillizza, even though it's Wednesday. Jaeger Pony's in the house. Nice to see you. My favorite Canadian. Special can acid. What's up? Yeah, be afraid. It's all about, they're just, oh my God, are they peddling fear? It's just insanity. Anyway, let's move on because I'm going to try to get through everything today. As you know, my favorite story for a very long time on this channel. In fact, it was the first week that I started doing this show that this event happened. Although, good morning, Civic Magic. Good morning, John Arnott. Good morning, Maddie for the House Geek. And hello, Ronan in the background if you're there. I love this story. Look, my first week of doing this show, I got two major stories that started happening. One was Nick Sandman and the smirk that was heard around the world. And then the same week, like 1 weekend, it was like within the first month of my show, Jussie Smallett. So I dedicated Wednesdays to Jussie Smallett for a long time because there was just more crap about this story. And now we're back We're back, motherfuckers. We're back with the story of the century and perhaps the trial of the century. Jussie Smallett. So here's an update on the Jussie Smallett trial. Jussie and the Osendiro brothers went through a dry run of the hate crime hoax, according to the prosecutor. Answer Kurt, nice to see you, by the way. Yeah, they did a dry run. Jussie Smollett, the two men who attacked him. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me read that properly. Jussie Smollett and the two men who attacked him as part of an alleged hate crime. Alleged hate crime hoax participated in a dry run of the incident to ensure that it would go according to plan, prosecutor Dan Webb alleged in his Monday evening opening remarks at the disgraced actor's trial. I want you to attack me, but when you hit me, I want you to kind of pull your punches a bit because I don't want to get seriously hurt, Smallett told brothers Abimbola and Olambinjo Osendiro, according to Webb. Webb cited alleged video evidence showing Smollett's Mercedes circling the location of the faked attack before it happened. Hello, Snoopy. Wait. Jimmy Refugee checking in. Oh, okay, cool. And said that would be evidence that the three men knew where they wanted the assault to occur. So Guy Benson had tweeted this out. Here's kind of what here's the tweet if you wanted to see that too from Guy Benson about this. Okay, someone down here is, I don't get why anyone still cares. The guy is facing the consequences he elicited for this. I no longer care. Well, why wouldn't you care? Because he's a celebrity. What? Feds never offered to plead to Ghislaine name. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. So go back to the story here. Both Osendiro brothers worked on the set of Empire, the show on which Smallett appeared for 5 seasons. Smallett paid them $3,500 to yell racial and homophobic slurs, pour bleach on them, and throw a noose around his neck, according to police. The brothers claimed that the money was for personal training ahead of a music video the actor was set to appear in. The noose was intended to make it look more like a lynching, like a hate crime, Webb said. After the alleged attack, Smallett received an outpouring of support from celebrities and Democratic politicians, many of whom called it a modern-day lynching. Kamala Harris called it that, I think. And then he's charged with 6 counts of disorderly conduct and making a false report to police. He faces up 3 years in prison. That is such... will he go to prison? I'm curious on this one. I don't know. It's there. I mean, I know what we know. I don't know what we don't know, though. Just if that makes sense. All right. Good morning, Johnny Halecat and Anna Lynn. Anyway, more on that thought. I'm not going to read this whole, but there's a Federalist article about this too that'll be in the tabs. The Jussie Smollett trial isn't about a hoax; it's about the entire social justice movement being a scam. Now, yeah, okay. We'll dive into this a little bit. The general narrative about the Jussie Smollett trial. You know, it was all okay. I know what he means here because this is at a time when everyone was like, "Fuck Donald Trump." Fuck Donald Trump. And also, a lot of the bad police pew-pew incidents that had kind of subsided at the beginning of Trump's presidency, and everyone was in F Donald Trump mode. And so there was all sorts of fake hate crimes just everywhere at university campuses and subways. And I don't mean like Subway where you get a sandwich, but like you go in that thing, that metal tube that goes underground. And so it was almost as though, and oh, by the way, this guy, Jussie Smollett, was in a bit of a contract kind of negotiation dispute with the Empire crew, whatever, the Empire producers. And so he kind of came up with this plot apparently to just get some more, a little bit higher profile, and also just be just a victim who fought off his attackers and, still had a noose around his neck, a garden clothesline around his neck. When the police arrived, because, then they reported the near modern day lynching, right? But this article says the general narrative about the Jussie Smollett trial starting this week is that the actor is charged with staging a hoax hate crime against himself. But the word hoax is not accurate. Smollett wasn't engaging in a hoax. He was perpetuating a scam. That scam has a name, and it's called social justice, or in the Biden administration's parlance, equity. That word, equity. Whenever you hear the word equity, you need to run. Good morning, Sean King, by the way. Nice to see you. And Foxby, too. So, it's not like Smollett is a demonstrable sociopath who told an aimless lie about being attacked by Trump supporters in 2019 for the sake of it. According to a very solid case built by an exhaustive Chicago police investigation, Smollett pretended to be the victim of a violent, racist, and anti-gay assault because he wanted more fame and thus more money. True. What better way to achieve that goal than to feed into the enduring myth that minorities in America are suppressed at every turn? Oh, gosh. Where's Tariq Nasheed when I need him here? At every turn, even targeted for violence by white men in particular. And as of 2016, even better, if they're Trump supporters. Police charged that Smollett offered to pay the two brothers he was acquainted with around $2,000 each to act out an attack on the actor, and in the dead of the Chicago winter night. The siblings, Obimbola and Olabinjo Osendairo, told investigators that Smallett had given them $100 to buy masks, a red hat, and rope that would be fashioned into a kind of noose for the staged attack. The Osendairos were instructed to confront Smallett on a sidewalk, slightly rough him up, and then disappear. And then and they tried to tell the story, which was terrible. Sorry, I had a little bit of I'm tired as hell, by the way. I need to start drinking this coffee. Here, everybody, do me a favor. If you got to drink coffee or a cup of whatever, grab the cup right now and take a big swig with me, okay? Just, I need this. I really need this today. All right. Police charges Smollett offered. Okay, I already said that. The setup preceded a previous stunt wherein Smallett mailed himself a threatening letter and said, "You'll die, black fag," accompanied by an illustration of a handgun. Police said Smollett's failure to garner any significant national attention from the letter is what led him to fake the assault. Yeah, that's just it. He did this. He already set up a. He tried to do it before, and they didn't buy it. That he got this letter, and so anyway. After $100,000 in law enforcement investigating and national media attention or whatever, then the Osendairos kind of, I don't know if you'd say caught, but caught up in it. And so now Jussie's finally going to trial. Now, this seems to be a slight problem for the Democrats if you ask the writers at PJ Media. Actor Jussie Smollett's trial for faking his own racial attack enters into day 2 in Chicago, and Democrats have a little explaining to do. Oh, yeah, yes. Smollett is fighting charges that he staged his own racial attack in 2019 and lied about it to police. He could receive a 3-year sentence, yada, yada. We already know all this. But no one really believes that the former star of the TV show Empire will be locked up. Fame has its privilege. What? I thought that was only for white people. Anyway, white lady and fellow actor Felicity Huffman will have spent more time in jail than Smallett likely ever will, and she lied to college administrators, not police officers, aka cops. Smallett, or as comedian Dave Chappelle calls him, the great French actor Jussie Smollett, may have more trouble getting back into the good graces of all the Democrats in Hollywood and Washington, D.C. who bought his story. And what a story! If you're not familiar, let's get reacquainted. Jussie took a walk at 2 a.m. to grab a sandwich in sub-zero Chicago weather and got jumped by 2 men who wore red Trump MAGA hats, at least one of them who was white. They beat him in a spot on the street that apparently had no CCTV cameras, splashed him with bleach, yelled anti-black and anti-gay slurs, and told him, "This is MAGA country." I have not said that in so long. I miss yelling that out. This is MAGA country. Okay. Whereupon they put a noose around his neck, a freshly bought clothesline, and Smallett walked back to his luxury home, and he called the police, where they found the actor with a partially eaten Subway sandwich and a rope around his neck. Yeah, they didn't disturb his Subway sandwich. If this were a true story, it would be horrible indeed, but one must suspend all disbelief to buy this agitprop. That is exactly what it was. Democrats lapped it up. The attack. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me do that properly. The attack came just days after Smallett reported that an anonymous racist mailed him a threat, which the Postal Service decided he sent to himself. Yeah, he's, you know what? He could be in trouble for postal fraud too. That's a completely different charge. I don't think they're not gonna go after him for that though. But anyway, it seems Jussie was looking for more money from Empire producers and thought he'd get himself a little free anti-Trump bona fides while playing the victim. It was a Democrat twofer, and the Democrat Hollywood and political class bought this pap up hook, line, and sinker. Journal Sandy No rolled out on his Twitter feed in order to remind us of all who amplified Smollett's attempted modern-day lynching, as then Senator Kamala Harris warned at the time. Oh, we're going to see some from here. Okay, cool. No, there's no point out. Harris wasn't the only one who lapped up this dumb story that was too good to check. Black Lives Matter and anti-cop activist DeRay McKesson, who fanned the conflagration in Ferguson, Mississippi. No, it's Ferguson, Missouri. Get an editor! In 2014, piled on with Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. She denounced the fake attack, wished for a speedy recovery from the non-attack, and ardently wished that justice would be served. People wishing for justice to be served are probably wishing those words didn't come from their big fat mouths, their lips, now that Jussie is facing charges in court. So, you know, I'm not going to go through these. There's an article of these, or a list of several different people who rushed out to support Jussie Smollett, and even his interview with Robin Roberts, I almost said Robin Givens again, Robin Roberts, was a pathetic piece de resistance that you could just tell this guy was full of shit. But she ate it up It was crazy. So Andy No has DeRay McKesson here, and Nancy Pelosi. The racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is just an affront to our humanity, not only to be attacked for who they are and whom they love. I pray that Jussie has a speedy recovery and that justice is served. May we all commit to ending this hate at once. Oh, so you know what? I'm sorry. Hold on. I got to do this. I got to do this. And I'm going to read a couple more, but I need to have the proper mood music for all of these. So give me a moment and I will pick out some perfectly acceptable mood music for reading Jussie's Smollett tweets from people who are very, very really trying to show their support for the juicy one. So let's see. This is that phone. Let's go. Acoustic group. Let's do this one. Right. This got about 3 minutes. Okay, here we go. Nope. That doesn't work. Not sad enough. I want sad. I want some sad. Here we go. Nope, not sad. Here we go. Let's try this one. No, that's hip hop. We don't need sad. Does that feel sad to you? That's kind of. No. I want. Here we go. Let's go with this one. This is epic sad. No, that's hip hop. Come on. Here we go. All right. Let's read some tweets about Jussie Smollett from the NAACP. The recent racist and homophobic attack on acclaimed actor and activist Jussie Smollett is troubling. The rise in hate crimes is directly linked to President Donald J. Trump's racist and xenophobic rhetoric. Apparently, someone named Derek wrote that. Congressman Bobby Rush from Chicago area. Your tweet thread attempts to trivialize the attack that Jussie Smollett experienced, regardless of who the perpetrators were. An attack of this nature is and always will be unacceptable. Maxine Waters. Jussie is my friend, a very talented and beautiful human being. It is so hurtful that homophobic haters would dare hurt someone so loving and giving. I'm dedicated to finding the culprits and bringing them to justice. Jussie did not deserve to be harmed by anyone. Sean King, a.k.a. Talcum X, a.k.a. Martin Luther Cream, a.k.a. Chalk D. I'll tell you about that joke later. This week, I started looking into the assault of Jussie Smollett. I soon realized that many of the details that had been reported as facts. Oh, these are actually complete fabrications. Some reports said that he refused to turn over his phone records. For instance, not true at all. That's the fact that was wrong. He refused to turn over his phone records. I'm sorry. They did reverence. Smallett. What the bloody hell did this guy say? Hang on. I'm sorry. That was a little too long. Here. Wait a minute. I started looking into the assault on Jussie Smollett, and I soon realized that many of the details have been reported as fact are completely fabrications. Wait a minute, this is too happy. This music's too happy. Hang on. I forgot to put the, that's not even close to being sad. Here we go. All right, let's try again. Here, I suppose you want to see this, don't you? This week, I started looking into the assault on Jussie Smollett. I soon realized that many of the details that had been reported as fact are complete fabrications. Several reports said he refused to turn over his phone records, for instance. Not true at all. I also checked for cameras in the area where the assault of Jussie Smallett took place. It has none. 98% of all crimes in Chicago are not filmed by cameras. The notion that the assault not being filmed somehow suggests Jussie wasn't assaulted is ridiculous. Man. Oh, here's one. Who is this? Frederick T. Joseph, and he's a reverend. I woke up early because I could barely sleep thinking about the assault on Jussie Smollett. They wrapped a noose around his neck. Donald Trump has created his own personal KKK and Nazi army. And he emphasized around 4:35 p.m. police confirmed that to THR that Smallett told them his attackers yelled pro-Make America Great Again MAGA comments during the attack, such as MAGA country. Those bastards. And finally, I'm not going to do anymore. Let's just do just the vile racist and homophobic attack. People showing us quotes from Malcolm X. I have a feeling even if we had video of Jussie Smollett being attacked, y'all would still discredit him because it's easier to believe what aligns with your contempt for survivors of hate crimes, sexual abuse, etc., who happen to be LGBTQ plus, disabled, or women. Okay, motherfucker. The only thing disabled about Jussie Smollett in this case are his morals. The lying prick. Anyway, meanwhile, the Hollywood anti-American donut licker and singer Ariana Grande weighed in after the attack and had a better take than most. I can't believe that this shit is really happening every day. Don't worry, Ariana. If it were happening every day, Jussie wouldn't have had to make it up. You dumbass. All right, enough of Jussie Smollett. Let's move on. But, oh, by the way, real quick, let me do some thank yous because I should thank people when they do nice things, and several of you have this morning. Let's see. Dr. Keeverdam has tweeted out the show. Also, Tyler F. Maddie, thank you so much. Resolute Gem, all of you who have been retweeting the show, I greatly appreciate it. You can share. And, oh, by the way, you can follow me on social media just about anywhere. I'm at PDawgKnight. If you're on, if you can find one, that's where I'm at. Also, you can watch the show at PDawgKnight.live or because there you can watch the show, you can do chat, you can, sponsor the show. It's a one-stop shopping for Marty's Christmas presents. So feel free to watch the show there or just watch the show. I like it that you're here. Good morning, Richo. Nice to see you, my friend from down under. Also, Justin Anderson. I'm very happy that you're here. So let's move on because really the big story for me, because this is kind of a media day on the Morning Night Live, and the theme of the show today was This is CNN. So if this is CNN, well, let's go find out what's happening at This is CNN. And what's happening is CNN, thank you, Gunfox, for putting this one in the Discord server, has suspended Chris Cuomo indefinitely. Rod Line, what's up? I need to see you there. Welcome back. I am so glad to see you. Haven't been around a while. It's fantastic to just see you in the chat. So here, Chris Cuomo. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Rod Line, for also sponsoring the show with a $4.99 who says, Rod Line says, I'm from Chicago, and I can say 100% that this is not mega country. Bloods, Crips, Disciples, MS-13, Country, maybe. Oh, man. Brother, be careful out there. It's a dangerous world. But now let me just talk in the chat. Rod, please. I'm assuming that a vast majority of those various sects, not sects, but sects, reside in the south and south central and southeast areas of the Chicagoland area. Chicago proper, for that matter, and maybe if you say, what are some of the suburbs down there? I know Oak Lawn's down there, but that's kind of old, like Polish and Irish suburb, but it's kind of a little bit west, just barely west, but like those, like the roads along Cicero Avenue, am I correct? And maybe it's like in the area of the southern part of the Dan Ryan where you have exits down there. I'm guessing that's where most of the action is. It's not the entire city of Chicago, but then now they're, they're doing the smash and grab stuff. They're trying to catch up with the California and Chicago these days with the smash and grab, incidents. It's very interesting. But anyway, let's get Chris Cuomo, most heavily located on the south side. Yeah, I'm familiar with that area. Chicago suspended Chris Cuomo indefinitely on Tuesday, one day after the New York State Attorney General's office released transcripts showing the extent of his involvement in assisting his brother, then Governor Andrew Cuomo, Democrat from New York, as he faced multiple allegations of sexual assault. Anderson Cooper will fill in for Cuomo on Tuesday night, CNN said. So it's going to be, well, it's the all-gay lineup for now on CNN with him and the guy. It's funny because Don Lemon is going through a lawsuit too, where he, grabbed his nutsack and then stuck his finger in some guy's face. Anyway, Mediaite obtained CNN's full statement on the matter. This is CNN's statement on the matter. On this is CNN. Okay. The New York Attorney General's office released transcripts and exhibits Monday that shed new light on Chris Cuomo's involvement in his brother's defense. The documents. Remember, this is CNN. This is CNN. The documents, which we were not privy to before their public release, raised serious questions. When Chris admitted to us that he had offered advice to his brother's staff, he broke our rules, and we acknowledged that publicly. But we also appreciated the unique position he was in and understood his need to put family first and job second. However, these documents point to a greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts than we previously knew. As a result, we have suspended Chris indefinitely, pending further evaluation. Real quick, thank you, Baby Vaso, for sponsoring the show this morning. Wait, is it? Oh, and Baby Vaso. Wait, what happened to Gun Foxes? Well, I don't know what happened to Gun Foxes. He was the. Okay, that was that one. Oh, that's for online. Gun Foxes. Was this from 4? Oh, that's weird. Anyway, Baby Voss. Well, Baby Voss, it says you are the superstar.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar,
I'm not sure.
Sponsor of the day.
And but it's actually Gun Fox, but that's okay. Baby Voss, thank you. To celebrate, or excuse me, these celebrities have to be grifters. There's no way they aren't busy enough to chime in on recent political events, but too busy to do basic research. Well, yeah, you'd think that because, a lot of celebrities, especially actors and stuff, have time on their hands in between gigs. And some of these actors that we're talking about this were kind of permanent in between gigs, if you know what I mean. But, who am I to judge? They do their best to serve their purpose in a very sane society, and they make some of the most sane comments that you could possibly make, and I am not one to judge them. Thank you, Baby Vaso. Appreciate it. All right, so So that's an interesting statement by This Is CNN. The Attorney General's office released more than 10,000 documents as part of its investigation into various allegations of sexual misconduct against the governor, who resigned following the report's release. The documents show that CNN anchors Chris Cuomo had advised his brother's team. The new detail regarding the extent of Cuomo's involvement with his brother's scandal prompted a wave of calls for his firing, including myself. The problem was, though, you got all these, they had, like, what did they say? Like, Meghan McCain, okay? Meghan McCain calls for Chris Cuomo to step down. You know what? Or Charlotte Bennett. I mean, who gives a shit about Charlotte Bennett? Oh, that's one of the accusers. But these celebrities are saying this shit. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care about what celebrity or Meghan McCain or anyone outside of the CNN, family says about this, right? The only thing that I care about is that maybe his fellow colleagues at CNN get their asses off their thumbs and they start texting to the upper management about why Chris should not be, representing them in the biggest primetime spot on CNN. I mean, I'm sure some of these guys like this. I'm sure that some of the people around there, except for Don Lemon, who has a crush on Chris, probably think that perhaps this meathead needed to go anyway. But anyway, thank you, John Arnott, with the big 5, the Lincoln super chat there, who says, "Payday, I'm 100 air." Well, I am so honored that you share your hard-earned dollars with me. Don't put that. Nobody put themselves in jeopardy. If you're 100 air, that's a 5% of what you're earning. I don't want to do that. But I thank you very much. No, seriously, just in all serious, thank you. I'm very humbled by people who sponsor the show, and thank you for sponsoring the show. Okay, so Charlotte Bennett, who is one of Andrew Cuomo's accusers, issued a statement calling on CNN to terminate his brother. Anything short of firing Chris Cuomo reflects a network lacking both morals and backbone. You know what? I tend to agree. Chris has proved to be something of a headache for CNN. In May, it was revealed that the network host had participated in strategy sessions to help his brother fight the allegations against him. At the time, CNN President Jeff Zucker said Cuomo he's human, and, he just made a mistake. Imagine if Sean Hannity made some kind of mistake like that. Anyway, many media professionals had long called for Cuomo to be taken off the air. Who? Somebody at Fox News, maybe? I'm sorry. That is bogus bullshit. Okay, wait a minute. They linked something. Who did they link? Let me see who they linked as some media professionals had long called for Cuomo to be taken off the air. Was anybody at CNN? Huh? What did they link here? Everyone in media thinks Cuomo should be fired. CNN isn't sure. Okay, this is on November 30th. I'm not even talking. November 30th was yesterday. Okay? No. Who was calling for him to be fired when this first came out that he was, helping his brother? Let's see. Who do they got here? I'm not even going to read. New York Attorney General Letitia James. Okay, she released the documents. Okay, again, Meghan McCain. Don't care. She don't work for CNN. I want his colleagues to have it, have him out there. Paul Farhi. Who the hell is Paul Farhi? I don't know. Don't care. Keith. Well, wait. Okay. Oh no. This is Keith Olbermann bitching about Jesse Kelly. Talking about it. Okay. So Jesse Kelly, if you're not familiar, he's kind of he's from the Daily Caller. He says, "I don't like Chris Cuomo, and I don't care if he gets fired. I don't blame him for doing dirty things to protect his brother. It's his brother. Blood comes first. My sons both know you better do anything and everything to protect your brother." So Olbermann says, when this putz is the only one defending you, it's time to go, Chris Cuomo. Well, I'm proud of Keith Olbermann. Finally, way too late. Brian Schwartz of CNBC. What's a guy got to do to get fired by CNN? masturbate in front of his coworkers. I mean, oh, wait, sorry. Just can't say that out loud. That's what he said. Okay, so, but again, notice none of them are the CNN colleagues, all right? Real quick, thank you, Rod Line, for sponsoring the show again. And it looks like, wait a minute. Well, now it's Rod Line. Rod Line.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Well, thank you very much. Wait a minute. Why is this doing this? How is it not Maddie up here? I don't get it. Anyway, Rodline, thank you. It says, is the guy who played Fredo still alive? I'd love for him to call for Chris's resignation. Oh my God, would that be special? I don't think the guy who played Fredo is still alive though. Here, let's look that up. Let's look it up. Okay, what? Okay, hang on. Oh, one of my favorite dollar amounts. Yeah, that's special. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna get through these super chats in a second, but I want to see if I thought the guy who played Fredo died. Fredo, actor. I think, did he not die recently? His name is John Cazale. Yeah, he died. No, he died a long time ago. No, that's not Fredo. That's not the guy who played Fredo, is it? Is that him? Yeah, he did. He died in 1978. Holy shit, I didn't know that. Well, okay, he died a long time ago. I didn't think he was still alive, but okay, who wants to make a Twitter account? Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, that is funny. If the guy who played Fredo would call for Chris's resignation, that would be. Let me see if there's. I don't know if there's a Twitter account that does that. Anyway, all right. Thank you so much, Rod Line. Also, Maddie with the 5 spot who says this. Oh, here we go. This is one of our sponsors. Let me make sure I did it properly. This show is sponsored by Spin Doctors Inc. Looking for someone to make you look good? Did your mouth get you into trouble? Hire a spin doctor today. Spin Spin Doctors Inc. When you want bullshit spun into gold. CNN for our work in action. Thank you very much, Maddie. That was an awesome commercial. If you could write a commercial, I will read it on the show. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Also, Baby Vaza, thank you, says F calling for individuals to be fired. CNN wanted venture networks to be disbanded. I need a larger size liberal tier cup for this crying I'm hearing. Yes, I have to agree with that. Thank you very much, Baby Vaza. And also, thank you, Gunfox61 and Gunfox61.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor
of the day. Thank you. Who says, it looks like in the Solomon Islands that a bunch of commie supporters might be hanging out around a bit, if you get the drift. Plus, CCP, the China's asshole.
China is asshole.
Is dealing, she has dealing in the nation that have these new redacted, such as redacted and redacted. Oh, censorship. Well, Twitter's new policy is going to be censoring some people pretty soon here too. Anyway, thank you all of you for sponsoring the show. Good morning, Jesse Leon. Good morning, Always Lost and Nothing Else. Nice to see you. Also, Colleen Bernier, the Florida correspondent, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me try to get back to where I was. I'm really distracted now, but thank you for all of you guys sponsor the show. It makes my heart quite warm and fuzzy. All right, back. Okay, so back to this is CNN. The funny thing about this whole thing, well, it's all a little bit funny because, the analysts who are still at CNN to talk about Chris Cuomo's problems include Jeffrey Toobin. Remember Jeffrey Toobin? This is the guy here in the front here, the guy who got, he was on a Zoom call with, it wasn't a CNN Zoom call, but he was on a Zoom call and, just for whatever reason, it was important for him in the middle, during the break of the Zoom call to just, pull out little Jeffrey and give it a nice massage and rub down. And unfortunately, he forgot to turn his camera off. And so little Jeffrey said hi to everyone in the Zoom call and No one quite understood what the fuck Jeffrey Toobin was thinking. But anyway, since the CNN thorough review to decide if helping brothers smear harassment victims is worse than public masturbation, Jeffrey Toobin kept his job. Will Chris Cuomo? Probably. CNN will conduct a thorough review of host Chris Cuomo's effort to assist his brother, disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo, by collecting and sharing information on the women accusing the Love Gov of sexual harassment. Text messages released Monday show that Cuomo reached out to the governor's chief of staff, Melissa DeRosa, after obtaining a lead on one of the alleged victims, Anna Ruck, who, according to the network Star, had been put up to making the accusations by sinister forces. Yes, sinister forces. The CNN and host also sought information about investigative journalist Ronan Farrow, who was working on a story about Cuomo's accusers, and relayed that to the governor's staff. So this story just tells you all about the text exchanges which were made public by Letitia James. If I didn't know any better, I don't know that Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, is a fan of the Cuomo brothers. I get the feeling. I get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, she's not a fan. Not a fan at all. Anyway, thank you, Baby Vazo, with another bullet who says, why are children participating in kink all over the world? I've seen so many people eating ass out in public, and I must admit, I do it too regularly. I mean, honestly, those Boston busts were delicious. Thank you, Baby Vaso, for sponsoring the show. I don't know what to say to that. I'm okay. I don't know what to say. Okay. Anyway, see you today. The funny thing about, oh wait, did Brian Stelter just say something like this? Oh no. Okay. This is kind of an opinion piece, so to speak. The text exchanges made public as a part of New York Attorney General Letitia James' investigation into Cuomo revealed that the younger Cuomo's involvement in the scandal was more extensive than previously known. As a result, CNN was forced to release an innocuous statement about, quote, having conversations and seeking additional clarity, end quote. In other words, word salad that we're just going to hide them away and then cover our asses later, about the network anchor who has also been accused of sexual harassment himself and his ethically dubious behavior. Among other things, CNN will have to determine if helping your politician brother smear the women accusing him of sexual harassment is a more serious journalistic offense than masturbating in front of one's colleagues in a Zoom call. The network's chief legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin, was fired from his job at The New Yorker after pleasuring himself during an online work meeting in October 2020. That was still just, I don't get. So, okay, so you're on this work meeting. Because he also works for The New Yorker, right? And he's on the Zoom call. And there's all these people in the Zoom call. And for whatever reason, in the break or whatever, he forgot to turn his camera off, and he starts jerking it, right? So, I want to understand what about that Zoom call prompted him to jerk it. Was there a particular lady in the Zoom call that some people should know about, that, or maybe she didn't know, but what? In fact, what if it was? Well, what if she was the old? Because I don't think Toobin's not. He's a heterosexual male. I think. I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know. I guess I don't know. But whatever. Who like? So you come back, you're looking at your camera and you got the whole thing, and that we are on the break, and all of a sudden it's like when they go to the magic shows and there's a couple and they're quick change artists, and so you're on the Zoom call and it's like with one hand he just rips everything, his whole clothes come off, and all of a sudden he's there jerking it. And you're watching, you just happen to be, on the break, and you're like this. Here, let me reenact this a little bit. and you're like this, right? Okay, you're in the break and everyone's doing some work and I'm doing some work on the side here, and the Zoom call and there's the screen and all there, and you see some movement out of the corner of your eye, and you look up and you're like, what the fuck? What are you doing? I don't get it. No, wait, hold on. I just thought of something. Maybe Jeffrey Toobin doesn't get it, and that's why he was masturbating on a fucking Zoom call. I don't get it. Anyways, let me finish this here. So Jeffrey Toobin was fired from his job at the New Yorker after pleasuring himself during his online work meeting in October 2020. CNN apparently does not consider public masturbation to be a fireable offense. The network granted Toobin time off while he deals with a personal issue. I'd say that's a personal issue. He was probably dealing with it every chance he got. Anyway, and welcomed him back on the air in June. So far, he hasn't had any more masturbation incidents while broadcasting on CNN. So I guess, maybe they made the right decision. Okay, so CNN's chief media correspondent, Brian Stelter, has done his part by reporting new details about the controversy. No, that's crossed out. Parroting the views of the network's public relations team and reiterating past statements. Quote, for what it's worth, when Chris Cuomo addressed his action on the air back in August, he said this will be my final word on it, and he hasn't addressed the matter on TV since, Stelter wrote in his Reliable Sources newsletter after noting that Cuomo did not mention the scandal on his show Monday night. Oh, shocker! Cuomo didn't mention the scandal on the show Monday night. Wow, I can't imagine, since he never mentioned his brother's scandal for 7 fucking months. And never mentioned that he killed a lot of Meemaws, or whatever they call it over on Monkey in the Morning. Him and Jack. Meemaws. They killed the Meemaw killer. They didn't mention that either. So, fuck off, Brian Stelter. Okay, that was my swear word for the day. Hi, Kessler. Flashback to what I said during a lengthy on-air report about the... Oh, this is Brian Stelter again. Flashback to what I said during a lengthy on-air report about the Cuomo brothers in August. This has been a conundrum for CNN that has no perfect answers, no perfect solutions. I think those words remain true today. Those unfamiliar with the network, CNN frequently presents itself as a serious media outlet solely committed to uncovering the truth and holding the powerful to account. This is CNN.
Whenever anyone asks me about trust in media, I try to ask, what do they mean by media?
Yes,
let me propose to you a different way to think about trust in media. Reporters versus repeaters.
Tell me. Oh,
George Clooney called Donald Trump a knucklehead in an interview with the BBC and said the country's moved, get this, one of a battered child.
There are easy ways to tell the difference between the two, between reporters and repeaters.
It's one thing to say 12 Diet Cokes. 12 Diet Cokes, right?
CNN, for example, has news bureaus all around the world, all over the place, all the red dots. That's a lot of reporting power.
Reporters and repeaters.
Fox, just to show the contrast, has very few bureaus by comparison. So Fox does a lot less reporting and a lot more repeating.
She said, Mom, I flipped off the anti-maskers and they flipped me off back.
Oh,
and,
such
honestly, I understood her frustration and her anger.
But if there is a solution, it's through reporting.
With Green, I'm wondering if some of her fans will sing a different rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get vaxxed.
It's through reporting, not repeating. It's through doing the work and showing the work.
Yes.
Showing how it happens every day. He is called Showbiz Shoebiz. There's hamburgers. There's the smocking gun.
Oh, yes. Reporting on Donald Trump's spelling mistake. Yes, that is the hard-hitting and very important news that CNN reports on every day. Anyway, they did end up suspending Chris Cuomo. Now, and then if you want to hear more about it, you can or read more about it. It'll be in the tabs today, but I've got this another article from the Free Beacon. Collusion, Cuomo advisor bragged that MSNBC host was saying my spin live. Now, this is funny. Now this is Liz Smith, who used to, you remember Elliot Spitzer? Yeah, got himself in a little trouble when he was the governor of New York. Anyway, or no, was he governor or attorney general? Whatever. He was going to run for governor, but then he got in trouble. He had his own little sex scandal. Anyway, she texted talking points to Keith Olbermann's ex-lover, Katie Tur, who repeated them verbatim. So Liz, the advisor to disgraced former governor Andrew Cuomo, bragged about successfully laundering talking points through MSNBC host Katie Tur, who repeated the advisor's spin on the air at the height of the governor's sexual harassment scandal, according to text messages released this week. This is another little scandal that when Letitia James put all this stuff out, this also came out. Quote, "I'm texting with Katie Tur," the advisor Liz Smith wrote to a group of Cuomo aides and allies in March. "Katie is saying my spin live verbatim." Well, that's we talk about white privilege, but that's some serious freaking Democrat privilege right there. Smith, who served as Cuomo's top spokesman during his 2018 re-election campaign, has largely avoided scrutiny for her role in the scheme to protect the governor by discrediting his female accusers. That was precisely what Smith wanted. In subsequent text exchanges, Smith told Cuomo's other advisors it would damage her credibility to become more visibly involved. She would later tell New York State investigators that the big firestorm surrounding the sexual harassment scandal was not something that I felt like I needed to be in the middle of, even as she continued to work behind the scenes to salvage the governor's reputation. So she was sending shit to journalists and they were just reading it, not even reporting. They still aren't talking about him killing Mimas, though. That seems to be the bigger problem with Governor Cuomo. But at least they took care of this little problem. Anyway, I think again it's distractions. All right, let's move on. I'm just going to tell you kind of what's in the tabs because I'm running out of time. So Twitter has decided to implement a new rule, and I guarantee you, it's going to be some serious selective enforcement. Twitter announced a new set of rules on Tuesday that effectively bans the dissemination of memes and the mockery of public figures. Well, no, not necessarily of public figures, but it's going to fuck up like people like Andy Ngo, Project Veritas, or anyone who just, uses video of live events. The change came one day after Twitter co-founder and former CEO Jack Dorsey resigned because he's probably going to be named in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Did I say that out loud? Okay. And by the way, I'm just guessing. That's not a fact. It's not even. I'm not even sure why I said it. It was just an amazing coincidence that trial just started and he resigned. Anyway. He resigned to usher in a new era under free speech foe and new CEO Parag Agrawal, who, while he served as Twitter's chief technology officer, expressed disregard for the First Amendment. Basically, he's like, fuck the First Amendment. Anyway, under the new Twitter policy, photos of public figures will be subject to removal based on the censorship platform desires. This policy is not applicable to media featuring. Wait, no, it's not. They kind of got this wrong. The policy is not applicable to media featuring public figures or individuals when media and accompanying tweet text are shared in the public interest or add value to public discourse, the policy states. However, if the purpose of the dissemination of private images of public figures or individuals who are part of public conversations is to harass, intimidate, or use fear to silence them, then we may remove the content in line with our policy against abusive behavior. So this is one of those, listen to this carefully. So if the purpose of the dissemination of private images of public is intended or is to harass, intimidate, or use fear to silence them. Okay, who decides that? What if you're just trying to speak truth to power, right? You're trying to expose corruption of public figures. Well, if they're Democrats and Twitter is very aligned with Democrats, you probably won't care. But if it's, because they will remove it because they're trying to, be allies to the right side of history. And if it's Republicans, they'll say, fuck you, we don't care. Right? This is another one of those Twitter policies that's going to be selectively enforced, and it's bullshit. And here it is. Quote, sharing images is an important part of folks' experience on Twitter. People should have a choice in determining whether or not a photo is shared publicly. To that end, we are expanding the scope of our private information policy. Beginning today, we will not allow the sharing of private media, such as images or video of private individuals, without their consent. Publishing people's private info is also prohibited under the policy, and as is threatening or incentivizing others to do so. It's clearly one of those super ambiguous policies that let them do whatever the fuck they want. And I think it'll kill Twitter because there are so many things that go onto Twitter that violate that policy right now, and it's not just from us right-wing shitbags. So there you go. Now, and then if you want to read more about it, there's an article here called "How New Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal Might Make a Poisonous Platform Worse." Might. He's already in the works. Now, there's also an article in Reason magazine that I got from the Discord here. Jack Dorsey's exit from Twitter could worsen tech censorship. You think? The site's long-serving boss might be more committed to free speech than his successor, Parag Agrawal, who openly disdains our First Amendment. Jack Dorsey resigned as CEO of Twitter, having served in various leadership roles at the company since its inception in 2007. I decided to leave Twitter because I believe the company is ready to move on from its founders, he explained in a statement. While Facebook has attracted significantly more attention in recent months due to widespread concerns, some of them overblown, that the site spreads hate and misinformation and is making teenagers depressed, Twitter is the preferred site of the media and political classes. The virtual bluebird's nest may have significantly fewer users than Facebook, 300 million versus 2 billion, but its importance to policymakers means it plays a larger than merited role in political discussion. If a change in leadership leads to significant internal policy changes, this could have an outsized effect on the news media. But news media is kind of exempt from these rules. It's us, well, I don't know if I call myself a citizen journalist. I'm a citizen editorialist who just reads news stories. But yeah, if you're one of those guys who goes out to cameras at protests, those things that people protest. Well, they specifically say that, if you are using pictures of activists and they're just trying to piss me off. I'm telling you. Anyway, you can read the rest of this one. It's a good article. You can read it. This guy, okay, they arrested this guy finally. When Lee Price III received nearly $1 million in federal coronavirus relief in June 2020, he blew much of it in a matter of days. This guy got some PPP funds. He applied for them and got over nearly $1 million. The money never made it into the pockets of the employees Price was supposed to pay. Those employees, after all, were fictional. Instead, Price spent the money on luxury goods, including roughly $14,000 Rolex watch, a $2,000 trip to a Houston area strip club. $2,000? He spent $2,000. Damn. Respect, sir. And roughly $233,000 on a 2019 Lamborghini Urus, according to prosecutors. All told, Price received more than $1.6 million after filing fraudulent Paycheck Protection Program as a PPP loan applications with multiple banks around the country, using much of the money to buy high-end priced items and to pay off outstanding debt, federal prosecutors said. Now, Price, 30 of Houston, has been sentenced to more than 9 years in prison. Only 9 years? I suppose it's sort of a victimless crime. Well, no, the American taxpayers are victims. Anyway, 9 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to fraud and money laundering. So he got a plea bargain. I got it. Mr. Price hopes that others will learn from his reckoning that there is no easy money. Well, what do you mean? He got $1.6 billion. Anyway, he has the balance of a 110-month sentence to reflect, repent, and rebuild his misspent life. Oh, God. Even though it's PPP, FTG. Sorry, dude. Let's see here. Federal judge blocks Biden from implementing vaccine mandate on federal contractors in 3 states. A federal judge in Kentucky issued a preliminary injunction on Tuesday against Democratic President Joe Biden's coronavirus vaccine mandate for federal contractors or subcontractors in 3 states. The Lexington Herald Leader reported. That coupled with the OSHA decision in the Fifth Circuit, knocking that down. Biden's not doing well in these mandates, but is he going to is the White House, the executive branch, going to ignore this shit or what? It's going to be interesting. Money can get blown quickly at high-end strip clubs. Well, okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, you can blow money through money very quickly at a low-end strip club too. You can just make bigger tips for the tits, so to speak. I can't believe I said that out loud. But anyway, he must have had a beer. Yeah. I don't frequent strip clubs, so I don't really know much about them. I heard that usually you pay exorbitant amounts for even soft drinks, so I can imagine what a beer would cost, and that's all I know about that. All right. Jen Psaki says a domestic travel ban for unvaccinated people are not off the table. Even though the Biden suspended his vaccine mandate for federal workers to save himself a few approval points, and it's kind of, in some states, they wouldn't let him anyway. Nevertheless, looking for alternative ways to force people to get vaccinated, and a domestic travel ban is one such possibility. Look, so I'll drive. How you gonna stop me from driving? Sorry, fuck off. So the president said earlier today that I think this is Jen Psaki saying that. So the president said earlier today that there haven't been any recommendations to put in place of domestic travel requirements, but what we saw with the Delta variant is that once it was already here, it spread rapidly across the country. So why not have any testing or vaccination requirements whatsoever for domestic air travel, since people are, going fairly openly across the country? A reporter asked Psaki. Well, I think what you heard the president say was that he wasn't taking any options off the table, but he is going to rely on that advice of his health and medical experts. What medical experts? Come on. Dr. Anthony Fauci. All right, whatever. All right. Frontline physician is suing over banned COVID treatments. Let doctors be doctors. Yeah, some of these physicians are saying, we're trying some of these protocols that we've been working on, and some seem to have a good effect, and we want to be able to try them, and, they're banned from doing that kind of stuff. So Dr. Paul Merrick, a doctor at the center of a Virginia lawsuit against a healthcare employer that banned the use of certain kinds of medicines to fight Stupid-19, told the Daily Wire in an interview Tuesday that his case is fundamentally about the ability of medical physicians to care for their patients as they see fit based on their expertise. In other words, it's about letting doctors be doctors. He practices at Centara Norfolk General in Norfolk, Virginia. He is a founding member of the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance, and he is the chief pulmonary and critical care medicine at Eastern Virginia Medical School. So they just want to try some alternative medicines that seem to have been having success with. And I'm not going to talk about this anymore because this is YouTube. Other good news, federal court pauses California school district's vaccine mandate. Judges say district cannot only permit secular exemptions. So, good. I mean, that's, religious freedom. people, and I don't know. Anyway. Jim Cramer demands that Biden impose a nationwide vaccine mandate and wasn't enforced by the military. Jim Cramer, you crazy son of a bitch, can fuck right off. Here, listen to this shit. Oh, it's going to be an ad.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Parrish, and I have an important question for anyone with arthritis.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Which one of these foods contains a
Go straight to... Okay, skip the door.
With the new Omicron variant sweeping the globe, how do we finally put
an end to this pandemic? Whoa.
How do we save lives?
Did he just say... What the fuck was that? What the hell happened? Where'd it go? Oh, my God. Omicron variant! Hi, Tyre. How you doing? Anyway, crazy bastard. Let me see if I can find that again. I think that was on the Discord server. Hang on a second. This one I want in the tabs for sure. This crazy bastard. There it is. Here we go. Let's bring it back. Bring it back. Gonna take it back. I'm gonna take you back. Gonna ride it back. Right on track. And right on track. That's gonna get you back. You back. Why isn't it loading? There we go. Jim Cramer, stupid, crazy. Well, we're going to finish on this. There's some other stuff in the tabs. You can check it out when I get to it. But here's Jim Cramer. Again, we're going to try this. If we can do it without 18 minutes of video. Oh my God, a 3-minute ad again. It's loading an ad. Okay, let's see how long it takes the ad to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut up.
With the new Omicron variant sweeping the globe, how do we finally put an end?
Omicron variant! That has milder symptoms, according to the South African doctors who have discovered it and said it's kind of very similar to common cold. But no, they're just, although they did say that, well, there's some, I don't know if it's evidence. They say, oh yeah, unvaccinated people are more likely to get it, vaccinated people are not. There's no vaccine for the Omicron variant. Sorry. Anyway, here's Jim Cramer again.
To this pandemic, how do we save lives and get business back to normal so everybody can put dinner on the table?
You know what, Jim? I've been putting dinner on the
needs
table.
To require vaccines, including booster shots, for everyone in America by, say, January 1st. There are still some things that need to be done at a national level, and this is one.
You're a moron.
But as we brace for another wave of new deaths from a virus that has killed more Americans than World War II or even the Civil War, it's time to admit that our government has lost the ability or the will to make our people do the right thing. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. So we've allowed a pastiche of uncoordinated health organizations to dictate an on-again, off-again series of measures that mostly just leave us baffled and confused. We haven't centralized the issue to the point where the White House actually seems to take responsibility. Let's see.
You notice, I wonder if he says anything about Florida. I wonder.
First was the CDC, and then the FDA, then the National Institutes of Health, mostly coordinating policy through talk shows. Then we left vaccination policy to individual companies. Now it's toothless OSHA going back and forth on what's allowed in factories, but nobody with any power is saying that frontline workers need to be vaccinated. It's just plain wrong, and most of us are sick of it, even as a vocal anti-vax minority is always grabbing the mic. This charade must end.
Okay, who's letting him have it, though? Anybody? Is anybody letting him have it, Jim? And you know why? When you say anti-vax, are they anti-vax for everything? Or do they have legitimate reasons why they have concerns about these, although approved, seemingly really experimental vaccines? Now, I'm not against them because my wife got them, my mother got them, both my mothers got them. The vulnerable people in my life got them because. But I gotta tell you, there's some problems with them. That I'm not, Jim, God, you're an asshole. But listen,
Government must require vaccinations.
Really? Must
Not
they?
of this group or that group, not company by company, not cruise ship by cruise ship or airline by airline or governor by governor. The buck stops at the White House. Some of us are old enough to remember when we were told we had to get a needle stuck into our arms because of some disease that was so scary we were afraid to talk about it. The disease was called polio. No one knew how you got it, but you were scared to go to a place where anyone might congregate, a swimming pool, a park. Then we got a vaccine, vaccine that worked, and President Eisenhower said we'd end polio.
Because I don't think you're that much older
He
than
pulled
me.
it off because he didn't give us any choice. Soon after, as if the needle were too hard, they came up with a sugar cube. They being the scientists at the time. And we lined up and took them, too. Mine tasted like maraschino cherries. Yeah, like the Del Monte fruit cocktail my mom served, but only better. Lord knows what happened if you didn't partake. But back then, anyone who refused to get vaccinated would get ratted out immediately because we knew that person could hurt other people.
Could
the common
they
wheel
now?
was
Is that, did
a
that
common
happen,
wheel.
Jim? I'm not sure.
Now we're engaged in a similar struggle with COVID, and Eisenhower would be aghast. We have
Is COVID as deadly as polio? I don't know, Jim. What's the death rate on this COVID thing, especially among young people? Does everybody take? Is it a one-size-fits-all solution? Is it stopping transmissions at all? Good Lord.
Compromised people who are incubators for every variant to come, walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic. We have companies that have tried hard to get people vaccinated.
How do you know they haven't already had COVID and have developed natural antibodies and B-cell immunity and B-cell memory of reproduction of the antibodies, as opposed to just having to take a booster every 6 to 9 months? Which one is more valuable? Or and I don't even say that one is more valuable than the other, but is it necessary for everybody? They don't want to talk about that because they're all sponsored by Pfizer. I bet you Jim's show's sponsored by Pfizer. I'm betting you. I bet you one of the sponsors of Mad Money on CNN, what is it, CNBC, I'll bet you one of their sponsors is Pfizer. I'm not going to watch the rest of this. Mad Money with Jim Cramer, sponsored by Pfizer. It's fascinating how I'm not even one of those people who was in the conspiracies. But isn't it strange how Pfizer sponsors every single media outlet, like just regular Hello Legit Low Talker? It's amazing. And I know it's not Thursday, but FTG Jim Cramer. You can just fuck right off. All right. I'll just give you the headlines. For the rest, federal court pauses California. Already did that one. I'm done with all these. How much longer will Democrat donors waste their money with the Lincoln Project? That's a good one. You got to read that one. That's a good one. And then let's see. I'm really running late. De Blasio has opened his first legal shooting galleries for drug users in the United States. He opened up places where people can shoot up heroin and, fuck. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? But at least they can get clean needles and have a nice place to crash when or die, whatever. Apparently, protests at the Arizona State University have caused Kyle Rittenhouse to either no longer be enrolled or something. On Monday, we reported that left-wing, this is from PJ Media, we reported that left-wing groups were seeking to pressure Arizona State University to expel Kyle Rittenhouse, who'd been accepted to the university as an online student. Like an online student, you dumb motherfuckers. Online student. That means he won't be on campus, but they're afraid. Their safety. They just don't feel safe. One group, Students for Socialism at ASU, planned a protest and had a series of demands for the university. 1, withdraw Kyle Rittenhouse from ASU. 2, release a statement against white supremacy and the racist murderer, Kyle Rittenhouse. 3, it reaffirms support for the Multicultural Center on campus as a safe space from white supremacy. And 4, redirect funding from the, we want money. Give us money so we'll shut up. Redirect funding from the ASU police to support the Multicultural Center and establishment of a CARE, C-A-A-R-E, CARE Center, a rape crisis center on campus. They're demanding it. Kill her off our campus. He was going to be an online student. Morons. Good morning, Brent Hayes. Don't forget to do a PSA for Friday's crazy meeting and Saturday's breast talk and the tit power hour. Hey, I'm not doing that. Okay. Anyway, so they basically unenrolled him from Arizona State University because people are bitching. And who knows? He might have withdrawn himself. According to the, unfortunately, campus reform confirms, that Rittenhouse is no longer enrolled in the ASU online program. According to the university, he is not currently enrolled in any classes at ASU and still has not gone through the ASU admissions process. Anyway. All right. That's it. I got to do it. The last thing on here, Jim Cramer, I pulled that back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. So, hey, I want to thank you for being here today at the Morning Night Live, me trying to stay awake the whole day. And I did okay. I only dozed off a couple times in the middle of things. But anyway, hey, you know what? I would love to see you back tomorrow. It's Friday, next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because we're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Before you go, before you click any keys, remember, all these articles and stuff, if you want to find them, they will be in a single link in the description down below in the second paragraph. And please hit the like button before you go. Share the stream before, during, after. If you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section so I know you were here. I usually put a little heart to acknowledge I knew you were there. And if you want to sponsor the show, well, PDawgKnight.live, other things down in the description. But that's it for today, people. I hope you had a wonderful day. Have a happy hump day. And be careful while you're humping. That's it. That's all there is. I got to go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.